All right, so we're just gonna hop right into this video. The 4Runner this week it's gonna be a busy schedule for this vehicle. Like I talked about when I was gone out of town for work, once I got back, I'm just gonna get the ball moving and try to get some of this stuff done on both vehicles. I've got the Mustang lined up for the middle of July to go ahead and get that stuff done. I'm gonna drop it off to Metalworks, where he's done a lot of stuff in the past for the car, and I definitely trust him to do stuff that I just don't have access to doing, or kind of just the time as well. So I know he'll get it right. So we're going to talk about the 4Runner here. Obviously, that's what we're here for in this video. Some things that I'm gonna cover, some things that I'm doing myself, and then it's got 2 appointments to get the rest of the stuff done that I don't have the experience to do, or just kind of the tools to do as well, especially electrical stuff. I don't trust myself with that. So let's go ahead and start in the rear of the vehicle. Got some mods here. Got this one. I bought this back in February. It is by Diodynamics, as you can see what the box says. Basically, Stage Series hitch mount. So this acts as a reverse light. So that's going to light up a lot more of everything. But a mod that I've seen people do recently a lot, even like Hondas and stuff, even Mustangs like the S650 or S550s, a fourth brake light. So I think that's just a big common like aesthetic mod nowadays. So I went ahead and ordered the kit to where you can order it. It's a little cheaper if you order it where you only have this option, or you have a fourth brake light. And there's a reason that I wanted this just in case. So this 4Runner did come with the tow hitch option. You can see where you can plug your trailer in for your hitch mount and all that good stuff. But I don't know what I would ever tow with this. That's the thing. Like, I don't have a trailer or anything. I might, if I had a trailer, a dirt bike, or a four-wheeler, ATV, four-wheeler ATV, there you go. I might tow that. That's really it. That's the only thing. But I've talked about this before. This third brake light, you can get it from like SRQ Fabrications or Snowbound Customs, I think is where I got it. It's one of the first mods I did. I think this kind of just a common issue to like anything really. You get a little moisture behind here if they've taken it through the car wash, obviously. Once this thing is painted, I'll start hand washing it, but for now I really don't care about like scratches here and there from the brushes and stuff. But these act as your third brake light for this. When you take the factory one out, this is your third brake light. This is the third time that I've had to replace it myself. So what happens is moisture and water will build up behind it, kill the LED, and then it explodes. I don't know if it's the pressure or something behind it. I doubt that. Maybe it's the brushes from the car wash that I go through, hits it too hard and busts the bulbs, or the glass to it. So I went ahead, they warranty them, which is nice. So I went ahead and picked up 2 extra sets. So this will be the third time. If it happens again, I have an extra set ready to go. So that's why I wanted to go ahead and add that hitch mount to act as a third brake light, just in case that one fails. Technically a fourth brake light, but a little security there. I don't want somebody running into me, of course. Kind of back here where I store all the stuff. This is pretty much everything that's gonna, go on the vehicle that I'm either doing myself or, having done. So got some grill lights and stuff like that. So let's move on to the next thing. Something that I'm not gonna do. I did look up how to do it. Doesn't seem that hard, but I just don't want to tackle this. I have no experience with this. I have the Hayden 698 kit. They have a 672 or 678 or something like that kit. This one includes everything from the transmission cooler to the filter, the lines, and everything that I believe you should need. So I'm gonna have that put on Tuesday this coming week. So when this video releases, it'll be a couple days after. The reason that being said, like I said, I don't ever, we'll go around to the front of the vehicle as I explain that. I don't ever tow anything. Like I said, if I did, I would have a trailer maybe with a dirt bike or something. But that's rare. I don't even own a dirt bike or an ATV. I would like to get one, but I just want to see, like, I've talked to people, I've read on stuff, I've interacted with people that have high mileage 4Runners, whether it's a Lexus, a Land Cruiser, Sequoia, Tacomas and stuff of this early generation platform and stuff. The transmission and engines are super reliable just alone in these 4Runners, and I've talked to people that have kept the original engine and transmission that are over 400,000+ miles, have had zero issue. They just change the fluid, fix any leaks that happen. That's it. No rebuilds or anything. And that's, transmission coolers are recommended highly to keep that longevity of the transmission. So I know that you just kind of mess with these. There's like 4 clips here or something where you pop the grill out. This is obviously an aftermarket grill from 4R Customs if anybody is interested. So I saw in the video the transmission cooler was mounted right here on the AC condenser. So I think adding that, having the aluminum radiator obviously helps as well. So going to keep the longevity, and for the future plan for this to get a supercharger, that's obviously a recommended mod as well to keep, you know, this temps cooler down that way. I'm not going to get crazy on the 4Runner, of course. I'm not going to like out here drag racing or something like that, but it will give it that horsepower that it really deserves. So moving on to the next thing that I'm just going to go ahead and get tackled and done later, either today or tomorrow. It needs plugs and wires, so I'm going to go ahead and just update all these like kind of hoses that look a little old. They've, you know, just a little weathered and stuff. They've seen heat and stuff from being under, you know, with the engine and all that good stuff. Since I've owned it, like I said, I put 100,000 miles on this thing in 2 years. I just drive a lot of places to go, but I've never updated the plugs or the wires, and I think that is something that needs to be done. I don't even know when the last time it was done. Obviously, rule of thumb, I think it's like 90 to 100,000 miles, you switch them out. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that either tonight or tomorrow, get that done. So this thing does not have any codes, it doesn't have any issues, but it will probably feel like a good refresher, run a little better as well, I'm sure. So that is something, yeah, that we're gonna have done. So we're gonna come around to the passenger side. Something that I'm not gonna do because they already have the part for it. So try to keep this thing as clean as possible. It does need to be. So that is a huge common issue, I think, with these. Not that something that like a part that fails, I believe, just over time, the shifter bushings right here, your shifter handle will feel super loose. Like I'm barely, there you go. They're plastic, they wear out, deteriorate over time, and then it makes it harder for the key to come out of the ignition. And I want to get that tackled. So I already diagnosed it pretty much. It took kind of the console apart and just was able to peek at it and see that they're pretty bad. So I went ahead and set up an appointment with Ironwood Automotive in Richmond. They're going to go ahead and tackle it, take care of it. It doesn't cost that much. I know I could save the money and do it myself, but if I'm already doing kind of the bigger job that would cost a lot more money, I just don't have the time and stuff. But the shifter bushings will be taken care of. So that is not a mod, but something that needs to be maintained and fixed to keep this thing going. And coming around to this side, so there's no issues with this. This is Snowbound Customs, basically like rear charger. I use it to charge my headphones. I have multiple headphones that I use for the gym. Passengers in the rear, or if, you know, somebody's riding shotgun, they can charge their phone, or my wife can charge her headphones when we go to the gym together. I'm going to switch it out for the TEQ Customs Off-Road. Probably the only reason that I bought it, it was like, you know, $40. I'm going to switch it out myself. I just like the way it looks better. That's the only reason. So that's something I just wanted to include and kind of what we're doing with this. So I know a lot of people but a lot of people don't like these taillights. I personally do like these taillights a lot. 4R Customs, that's where these are from, but that site also released a pre-order for some new taillights. If you're familiar with the 5th gens, I think it's 4Runner Lifestyle. They're very super similar to that setup or look almost, but for the 3rd gen, and I love how they look, so I'm going to go ahead and place a pre-order for those. So I'm going to be switching out the taillights for those. When those come, I'll make a video, obviously, about it probably. But the part that I was talking about in the beginning of the video, that I don't know why, so I don't know if anybody else that owns a 3rd gen, or maybe it's a 4Runner thing. The not the marker light or turn signal, but the fog lights. I've always had an issue with the fog lights. The lights will get moisture in them, they'll build up and they'll fail. The LEDs will fail. So there's a website, I forgot what it's called, but you can pre-order it. They have a built-in turn signal and LED, like kind of like this aux beam setup, to where it's the amber or white. You can go with either option for like $150 right now. So I went ahead and ordered that. It's black, kind of like this, so I might see how it sits on there, or I might get it color matched, just because so it'll blend in with a bumper more and look more, I guess, factory looking. It already does look factory looking, which is cool. I was kind of on the fence about it, but then I saw pictures of it, on a 4Runner that they displayed. It looks really good. I think it's going to solve that issue with that I'm, just having either fog light when it comes time for state inspection, one fails. The fog light assemblies, I've replaced the housings multiple times. They're like $100 just for even one. And then LEDs, not a problem, but just doing that and then having that issue every year. So that's going to solve it, I believe. So that's one part that I'm definitely excited about, just to see how it wires up. So I'm going to have it wired up to where I can, when I turn on the, the factory little switch for on the, whatever you call it, I'll show you. We'll come around this side. This, when you turn your fog lights on here, it'll act accordingly to that. So it'll be tied into the factory harness. So there you go, guys. That's pretty much what's coming to this 4Runner. A lot of stuff, a lot of maintenance, obviously, that needs, not a lot of stuff, honestly, but just some mods that I've been sitting on that need to be done. I'm going to get done. And like I said, the Mustang is mid-July. They'll be taken care of, be dropped off, get that thing back on the road. And then we can just go from there and just have some fun with both vehicles. Not in any hurry to change anything or get anything new right now to the channel, but this is what it is. So if you guys enjoy this content, make sure to subscribe for future content. Give this video a thumbs up. Comment something that I should change, probably taillights, I'm sure, or comment something that you like on the 4Runner. I don't know. So appreciate you guys. I'll catch you on the next video.